Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I will be speaking about the conjunction between Algol and Uranus. I will describe the nature of the star, of the fixed star Algol, the mythological story behind the significance of this star, very interesting star, the description of Hermes about the star, and then we see how this conjunction, which is going to start on 18 June until 15th August, so how this conjunction will influence our lives. This will be important because both the star and the planet Uranus have very high significance because of their high hierarchy. I explained to you previously that we look at the stars, at the planets, and their significance and their hierarchies according, of course, to their positions on the sky. And when we see the celestial spheres and we start counting Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, and then we have, after Saturn, we have the zodiac belt, the belt of the fixed stars. So what I was trying to say is that these particular placements determine the hierarchies of the planets. So the higher you go, and you know how high Uranus, Neptune, the trans-Saturnian planets are, the higher the hierarchy. It is hard to say who is more important, Uranus or Algol. I think they're equally important. And as you know, on 18th of June, Uranus is entering Taurus, and I had separate video on this. I was explaining how I expect this to influence the world and each of the 12 ascendants. So shortly after Uranus's entrance into Taurus, he will be conjoining the star Algol. What is the star Algol? First of all, according to Hermes, purely as astronomical body, the star has the nature of conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn. This is according to Hermes. Conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and this particular conjunction, you know, the two planets, how mighty they are in terms of finances, materialistic world, influence on the precisely on the materialistic sphere of our world. They have to do with philosophies, with the father figures, with the guru, property, and money. And Hermes actually is describing Algol as a star of money. The Arabs, you know, the Arabs say Al-Ghul, and in Arabic, this is something like a monstrous, evil being. So they actually describe the star as very evil. Medusa, it means protection, and it comes from Greek, but Al-Ghul particularly come from Arabic, and it means monstrous, deity or something. Because we know that the Arabic is a Semitic language and the Akkadian is the pre-Semitic, language, I checked this, I read, Al-Ghul most probably originates from Galu, Akkadian. Galu in Akkadian would mean demonic entities. So you see, the Medusa Gorgona, the Gorgon, is given negative connotation. There were 3 Medusa Gorgons, 3 sisters. They are winged. One of them is mortal, the one that we'll be speaking about, the one Medusa Gorgon, which is on the sky. From 123 degree Taurus, she's covering this particular to 2 degree Taurus. 1 to 2 degree Taurus, she's covering sidereal coordinates. And she, the one on the sky, she is actually winged. She has the snakes. So what happened briefly, I have separate video only on the Medusa. If you like, take a look. Algol Medusa. So what happened, as you know, she was beautiful. Actually, from the three sisters, I think only she was the beautiful one. So she had relationship, intercourse with Poseidon, Neptune, in the temple of Athena. Athena found out. She got very angry. Actually, the story is such that we don't know. In some stories, in some versions of the story, you will see that actually Poseidon forced her into this relationship. Other stories say that it was a romantic involvement they both had. So Athena found out, she got very angry and she cursed her. She turned her head, said that whoever she looks at, the person would be turned into stone. But this it was what happened is that really whoever really would look at her would be turned into stone. So this went out of control. Nobody could kill her because whoever would come in front of the Medusa would turn into stone. And then Athena was the one who thought Perseus, the warrior, who is also taking some degrees in the constellation of Taurus on the sky. So Athena taught Perseus to use a mirror, not directly to face the Medusa, and this way to decapitate her. So what happened, you will see different versions of the story, including a Roman one, very similar to this one. The Libyan one is very interesting. And also in Libya, there is a temple of Medusa. I really would like to see this temple. So in this temple of Medusa, but the legend of the Libyans is that from the drops of the blood of Medusa, the red corals in the sea were created. And that's why they have powerful healing and magical purposes. Another story is saying that while she was being killed at this moment, Pegasus, the horse of Perseus, was born. Also, her blood was used as a protective, not her blood, her head was given by Perseus to Athena, and she used it on her chest, the Aegida coat, for protection. This is why we use so much the image of Athena, Athena too, but of the Algol Medusa. We use it so much for protective purposes, for the creation of very, very powerful protective talismans. I have such talismans. You can take a look at my website. So this is one part of the story. Athena was using, this protective shield until nowadays. Other story says that she gave this particular shield to Zeus, to Jupiter, and he's using it. Other stories saying that Athena gave the blood to, the healer Asclepius, the god Asclepius, the healing god, and one part he's using for healing. Now, here is the interesting thing. The star Algol is a binary star. And I explained this in very good detail in my video only about Algol, but because of this, sometimes the star is dim, which means hidden. One star is hiding the other one because it's a binary star. The day when the star is not hidden is actually having good properties and really can be helpful for finances, for healing. See, Asclepius is using this star. So here comes already the conjunction with Uranus. Uranus is entering on 18th of June, is entering Taurus, right away entering the degree of the Medusa Gorgon. And what you think, until 15th of August, he will be passing through these degrees. And already from the beginning of his passage into Taurus, he's meeting the Medusa, which will be dim. In a phase, she will be dim. So this is quite interesting. Roughly, you can imagine one day she's dim, one day not. Like on the 18th, she will be dim, on the 19th, not. And so when the star is dim, the star is evil. I give you example. In a horoscope of people, when you see the star Algol dim, conjoined specifically the moon or in the ascendant, the star can give difficult results, craziness, or very heavy mental, negative, difficult conditions, or it is unpredictable. It has to be seen in the horoscope, but the star can really be difficult. When dim, when the star is conjoined the moon and is not dim, can denote money, powerful material, results from the material world. I told you Hermes is describing Algol as a star of money. So let's think, what is happening? On 18th of June, the star is conjoining Uranus. In the same moment, what we have? We have the ruler of Taurus, Venus, so important. She will be invisible in Gemini together with Mercury. So we have, and the Sun in Gemini. Quite powerful, and Saturn in the same moment will be making a trine. So, let me show you. I'm sharing my screen with you. You see, you have here invisible Venus, Mercury, everyone on midheaven, and we have Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus. And the beginning of every cycle is showing how this whole cycle will be looking like. And the beginning of the cycle of Uranus actually starting with dim Algol. And this is Algol, we know, is not helpful in terms of finances. And Taurus is all about money. Not all, but mainly about money. Taurus is a sign of beauty, art, love, money. And the star Algol, according to Hermes, mainly represents money. And the star will be dim when Uranus is entering Taurus. I don't like this very much. This will not help the world financially. This may even mean, what to tell you, very sharp financial changes which will not be in the interests of the people. In the meantime, you see the other properties of Algol, which is the decapitation. Something will fall down so that the new can come. Who will be decapitated? Certainly we can see the outgoing, old rulers, old status quo. It is symbolically old financial regulations, financial system, and somehow Uranus will have involvement with this, especially conjoining Algol, and this will have to do with some of the old rulers which will go. Old status quo, old financial regulations, old rulers, all this will go. Jupiter is there and he might be a little bit helpful, but I see him helping not in terms of really bringing change. He may soften a bit the passage of Uranus into Taurus so that it doesn't look very unfortunate and heavy for us. Also, as you can see, Venus will not have the word so much because in the meantime she'll be invisible, and in Gemini, where she doesn't have very, very big dignities. Yes, she is in her own triplicity, meaning she does have certain dignities, but not major. So once again, in general, like we spoke previously, the passage of Uranus into Taurus will have to do with changes in the financial system. And it will be very sharp once Uranus meets Algol. And yes, heads will be falling of people ruling finances. Could be banks, could be financial institutions. And by the way, I will tell you something which will comfort you a little bit. I know from one very old prophecy of, not very old. Well, it's old. It's more than 100 years old from the Master Being Stunu. Later on, I heard this from the small boy who lived from 1983 to 1992, the Russian angel. They all say the finances in general, the money, were satanic. This was not meant for the good of the humanity, and this will be gone. Of course, this will be replaced by something which is even more negative, which is the electronic versions of all this. This is another story, and I'm not financiers to tell you this, but So, you see, maybe we should not be so much regretting for this change, the replacement of the money system as we know it with another system that we will not like. But every social system, every change of social system, especially the transition period, because we live, the capitalistic world is over and we're going through something which is the post-capitalistic, society. All these particular periods, historically, astrologically, these particular periods are never easy, never quiet, never peaceful. Look historically, and I think we mentioned this in many astrological and historical examples. So we just need to be very understanding that these are cycles which happen. And this is not the first such cycle that we go through. So we just need to be very wise. Of course, realizing how powerful we are, and if we completely obey and accept, this is also, this is somehow. I don't mean that we have to stand up and oppose, but I think that we need to have our very firm opinion. We need to choose what to listen to, what to believe to, and we certainly need to have very critical mind, especially in these times. So, and our opinion matter, and how much we accept the changes in the matrix also matter. Oh, this is very important. So we do not need to accept absolutely everything which is taking place, but certainly these are historical periods which are very repetitive. We just don't remember because our lives are not so long. We don't have this memory. So anyway, also look what I noticed. See, this is also the square, even a very wide square. You will say, see, at the moment of this aspect, Saturn is in the 25th degrees of Aquarius, and Uranus entering Taurus will be in the first degree Taurus. Yes, you will say this is very wide square, but in the ancient astrology, the aspect theory is a little bit different, and we say that this is already a square by sign. So when Saturn is square in Uranus, even by sign, and this is a wide square, but still a square, this is even more like enhancing the change which is about to follow. So you will see after mid-June, many interesting changes of hierarchies, of financial structures will be taking place. You will see that this will be happening. This particular conjunction between Uranus and the star Algol is just a detail which is giving to us more information on how things may play out. Of course, without any doubt, people who have sidereal ascendant Taurus, or this would be modern tropical Gemini, or moon in this placement, will be experiencing very much this particular transits, you will feel this, you will experience this. Also, if Taurus, Sidereal, or Gemini are on your midheaven or descendant, also, you certainly feel this. But we, as collective body, will certainly see these changes in the world very, very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this was interesting for you, and see you very soon. Your comments are more than welcome. Bye bye.